we've got a team on a great roll at the moment up against a team that's struggled at the start of their campaign. Good afternoon, Andrew Dewhurst with you alongside Casey Frank, and this outfit, the Nuggets, are running pretty smooth.
They certainly are, with the welcome addition of three highly talented imports. The offense looks high octane. Of course, the Manawatu Jets have welcomed their own imports for the full strength the first time this season, so will be finally nice to see these two teams both at full strength on the court at the same time.
Yeah, and the Jets need that boost, don't they? Let's have a look at the ladder. I can tell you that that's not updated, because in the last 2 or 3 minutes, the Saints went down again.
They did. They're down to 0-4, bringing up the rear. The Jets will try to create some separation. What a win on the road by the Canterbury Rams, moving up to their 4th win.
And we see the Nuggets up there 3-2, and that's on the back of losing a couple early on. So they've found their groove and are sitting nicely inside that top 3. Remember, top 6 make the finals in the Cells NBL this season. Let's have a look at the action across round 5 later this week, starting on Thursday night. Rams and the Hawks. Rams will have their tails up, so too the Hawks, mind you. Sharks up against the Nuggets, so the Southern Derby, and the Giants, who've had a good win this weekend, they're up against the Hawks, who have that road trip. So Hawks with the road double to try and get over.
Yeah, impressive. They've lost Jack Salt, but found some quickness in the transition game. Was fantastic against the Tuatara.
Let's have a look at starting fives this afternoon, and this is arguably the best current starting 5 in the league. You mentioned the 3 imports. Yeah,
Todd Withers, Keith Williams, and Tajiri McCall. Fantastic. Haven't really scratched the surface of what they're capable of, but all fine defenders and offensive players. Nikau McCulloch coming off a 29-point game, and if he plays like that, this starting lineup has no weaknesses with Sam Timmons manning the middle.
Yeah, Big Sam, of course, running things in the paint as he gets up there in the warm-up. Well, their head coach is Brent Matahari. Let's have a listen to what he had to say going into this one.
Evening and welcome to Palmerston North. You guys are on a tough doubleheader, short turnaround. How have you prepared for this one?
Just made sure we had a decent recovery day yesterday, and got in the gym today and walked through some things and had a chat and made sure the minds and bodies were ready.
Jets have got their full complement of guys for the first time this season. What are you looking forward to? What have you prepared for?
I think the Jets obviously want to fire their first shot. They've got their players, they're obviously excited for the game, as are we. You want to play against the best, and we want to take the best that the Jets have got and show them who's boss.
There you go. Thank you very much and good luck for tonight.
Always with a smile on the dial is Brent. He's one of the more positive people on this planet, and doing a great job with the Nuggets. Here, the starting 5 for the Jets. Interesting here, Casey, just 2 of the 3 imports in the starting 5.
Yeah, he's saving that freshest import to come off the bench, give a little scoring power, but Shane Temura, not an import, but welcomed into the lineup with his bouncy athleticism. We see Zane Njwawi, who is also one of the interior forces for this squad. Pape Momiasia, excellent recruitment from down south, but it's Bohannon who's going to have to really carry the offensive load. Yeah,
and he's going to be a new look for many watching the Manawatu Jets into their rotation is Bohannon. Well, their head coach is Natu Taufale. Let's have a listen into his thoughts ahead of this one.
Evening, mate. Full complement of guys tonight, and looking forward to it. How's it looking?
Yeah, it's been good. We've had 10 days off, full complement of guys, so we've transitioned the last of the imports into our group. Nuggets are going to be a challenge. They've won 3 in a row, so we keep thinking that this is the second of a double header. Some of the teams have played really well in the second of a double header, but we're excited. It's another opportunity to get our group together and see where we go.
Nuggets are coming in on a bit of a roll, but as you mentioned, it is a double header for them. How are you going to get into their legs come 3rd and 4th quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a bit of size, so we'll explore that a little on the inside and try and pick the tempo of the game up. Again, it's about taking care of our defensive rebounds and our turnovers and controlling the tempo of the game. And hopefully, if we can do that, then that puts us in a good position to win the game.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Also pretty bright and cheery despite the 0-3 start to the campaign, but certainly the addition of the 3 imports. But they've got to gel quickly. They've got to also extract the very best out of the local talent. So the Jets, a bit of a rebuilding season for them as a franchise.
Yeah, they've come back with a lot of local talent trying to build it up that way, and look for a lot of that load to be carried by the import trio that they have recruited, while expecting some of the young fellas to start to bring up some of these head-to-head statistics that we see from so far in the competition. Unfortunately, the Jets really bringing up the rear inside that lackadaisical interior attack with field goal percentage, points in the paints, and rebounds. The Nuggets not much better, but a victim of their first 2 games where they were without their import trio. Both teams will be looking to score much higher than they're just under 80 points per game this evening, and I would expect the Nuggets to really be able to put some pressure on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, so those numbers, they're both teams looking for improvement for sure. I imagine those numbers look very different if we just isolate the last 3 for the Nuggets on the back of that shaky start to the campaign. Let's have a look at the officials for this one, as those who have the whistle are very familiar these days to the players.
To Jerry McCall coming out looking a little chilly, just getting used to the so we say lack of insulation in most of New Zealand's gyms.
And Melanie O'Connor will lead the refereeing crew tonight. Sam Timmins is much more at home in the conditions, the big fella.
And just to mention, Nikon McCulloch once again coming off 29 points on the road in Franklin. Speaking to him after the game, he called it his revenge tour, coming against all the teams that he used to play for, and he's got a little something to prove. The Manawatu Jets certainly on that list for him.
He's got a few. He's got a few that he wants to get back. But hey, what did he have? 12 points in 5 minutes the other night? He started so hot, didn't he?
It was really fantastic the way he was shooting the ball, and I expect defenses to have to really open up those driving lanes if he continues to shoot with that kind of clarity.
Here we go. Nuggets will be warm favourites for this one, but the Jets looking to try and gather some momentum. They're at home. Game on. Sal's NBL round 4 action. Hope you enjoy this one unfold over the next hour and a half or so.
Looks like we'll give ball to the Nuggets or the Jets. No, yeah, Nuggets. Nuggets on the side.
Someone went a little early. So that's import lineup, really impressive. Withers, of course, who played in the Australian NBL with Adelaide. Taj McCall with Cairns. What did he have last game for Cairns? Just dropped a 40 pack?
Just dropped the 40 piece.
And the other imports, a little younger, and Keith Williams, 23-year-old, out of the Cincinnati Bearcats. You know much about Cincinnati? Were they on your game list during the season?
Yeah, once, my sophomore year. Played them in the NCAA tournament. They had a little guy by the name of Kenyon Martin on the squad.
Here is McCulloch, who just stumbles as he was perhaps looking to start in similar fashion. Timmins had to get up quickly with that shot and rolled in, out, and back.
Comedy of errors on play 1. I think the Nuggies will look for a little bit better execution moving forward.
And the Jets shoot early from the corner. Rebound for Withers and scrambled away. And the errors continue. The comedy maybe not so great for the coaches, but no one's just got a handle of the basketball here. And this, well, I don't know, can we wind the clock back? I mean, have these two teams come out of the dressing room yet? Najdawi says, yeah, let's get the show on the road.
Well, the Jets will take the 2-0 lead a minute in, but both teams need to find some level of execution shortly.
Taj McCall just pulled up with the 3-ball, and cheap foul given away here by Williams, just reaching in on the rebound. Might have caught Najdawi on the snoz. Is he checking for teeth?
Yeah, he is checking out there for teeth. Possibly contact lens, not teeth. Not sure where it went. And it looks like we'll have a little bit of a break as his contact got poked out of the eye.
Good luck finding the contact lens.
Well, you got to drop down. You got to get straight down on the court and look across to see it bowed off the ground. That's how you look for a contact.
There's a man with some experience.
Never for my contact, but every time you got to get on the floor, look horizontally. It's going to be a very tough find this way. Hopefully he's got a spare pair. Otherwise, I might be giving him a little bit of space out there on the perimeter when he's shooting the ball.
Well, he's not getting much help from his teammates, and they should realize that it's his contact that is missing. So he's down to one good eye at the moment. And this could...
I do appreciate the bewildered... we got it! What a spot! Just kidding. He faked me out. This one? Here we have? Yeah, how are we going to clean it up?
Yeah, there'll be some...
my favorite clean off of the contact lens is the guys that just stick it on the tongue.
Oh, no.
And put it back in. That's the best one.
Oh, that only leads to disaster. And I'm sure... Oh, we've got a bit of water.
That's good. It's all come together. What a start.
Disrupted start, though, now for the Jets with Crawford coming in. So one American for another, but that's not part of the way that Ngātu Tawhale has drawn up the opening minutes here, but they do lead with the only bucket of the game.
Giving up a lot of size with Crawford coming in now. Going to have some advantage on the interior for the Nuggets. Oh, he's such a solid defender, as McCall.
Oh, Timata, the pass was easily read by Withers, who goes coast to coast, and it's all leveled up to a piece.
And I love Todd Withers as a defensive player. He just has a efficiency of movement. He's got nothing wasted in his package, but he is everywhere defensively with his length.
Crawford on the curl, gets to the Razine, called for the travel though, as he was looking to kick that back out, I think, to Momosia.
Yeah, that spacing's a bit tough with Paif Momosia up top. Taj McCall did not really respect the shooter, so he doubled Crawford there, really making it difficult for him to see anything whatsoever on the court.
Timmins, they'll leave him all alone out there. Not generally regarded as an outside threat as Sam Timmins, but in here, if he can grab the basketball, a little lucky there to find Withers on the outside, who's more than lucky. That's just quality with the triple.
Well, nice job by Sam Timmins playing tippy toes on the baseline before finding shooter on the perimeter in Withers, and the fine pass was followed up by an even finer shot.
Otago well set defensively. Temara for Crawford. Shot clock counting down. Gets the call from the bench and leads to a bit of pressure and a shot that was all backboard and no iron.
Klein Salmon there, just a little too aggressive off the glass as Bohannon really let that one fly off the glass. Not the first touch you're looking for.
No, to be fair, he was just the guy, wasn't he? Casey found himself with the ball with the shot clock disappearing. Timmins. And referee Melanie O'Connor's seen offensive foul. I think Withers just a little too aggressive. Looks perplexed.
That's the look most of the imports have their first few weeks in the league. You just got to get used to the way things are called, or earn a little respect from the officiating crews, and then they'll start being a little kinder to you. Really a lot on Paif Momosia's shoulders, playing the point guard position. This is a guy who previously has played the 3-4.
Crawford, oh goodness me, off balance, didn't matter. Somehow made that one.
Solid contest from Keith Williams, but a better shot on the swish.
Timmins might go to work. No. Withers from the same spot for a triple. No good this time. Rebound Bohannon.
Yeah, I saw Timmins a couple nights ago in Franklin, and he's been a bit passive on the block, really looking to get his teammates involved as Momosia tries to throw the ball back in, but he can't be the first one to touch it. So steal to Withers. But I'd like to see Sam Timmins be a bit more aggressive looking to score, especially when he gets those catches down low.
Nice tip in there from Timmins. Yeah, I think just 5 points in that win over the Bulls. So it was a cruise for the Nuggets. So he wasn't required, but yeah, needs to be a little more aggressive.
Such an unselfish player. He's always looking to find his teammates to make the pass, but he's just really letting a few of those defenders off the hook when he's not taking advantage of his physical gifts in the block.
This time McCulloch, I think, has got into the ribs here of Shane Temara. At about this point in the game on Friday, McCulloch had 12 points already.
He was off to a flying start.
Some time taken here before the Jets are inbound to Bohannon, or maybe he does fancy the 3-ball.
Same spot, same spot.
Under no pressure on that occasion, and he was happy to take the shot. So nowhere near the target, but maybe that is in the armoury of Bohannon as Taj McCall. Messy on the dribble, kicks it back out. And Bohannon there with a big hand, but too good going through the challenge, Keith Williams.
Solid drive coming off the on-ball. Defenders need to step up and change that ankle, make them dribble away from the basket instead of having that straight line.
Bohannon facing up to Timmins. He is a big unit and a very good defender in that block. Crawford now into the paint, kicks it back out. So Temera. Rebound, another 14 seconds for the Jets. Bohannon turns straight into Timmins, turns it over. Here come the Nuggets. Taj McCall. And he just calms it down, but Timmins, he says, I'm here to slam the lid on that one.
Well, fantastic play by Timmins in the post. Stout defense, helping to force the turnover as Bohannon is claiming he's fouled, but looks like the tip off. And then to chase down and finish that with authority. Might have snuck a couple of points away from Taj McCall there, but the effort is rewarded with 2 points, and Sam Timmins showing some enthusiasm early in this one as the timeout goes to the Jets to discuss what looks to be a little bit of a disrupted offense in the early going.
Yeah, and they've had that disruption of the loss of the contact lens for Majdawi, who left the floor, and certainly that may have changed their plans.
Well, it made him much smaller. You know, he moves off as sort of a true 4. Playing there, and with him, Temera, and Bohannon on the court, that is a lot of length. Now you take him out and put in Crawford, makes it more difficult to control the interior. You see they're looking inside more, getting more attacks on the rim, and has really opened up the middle of that defense.
It's always interesting with the imports as well, Casey. Of course, the scouts always reasonably easy to get these days in terms of video and numbers and stats, but we'll watch John Bohannon over the first couple of games in the Cells NBL and see what he brings. So far, really all we've seen is a couple of outside shots. We haven't yet seen if he's going to go to work in the paint.
It takes a bit of time to settle in, but you always expect quite a bit from your import talent, especially when you're a team like the Jets are and really rely on it.
Here's someone that Otago will come to rely on this season. McCall to Withers to Timmins. Taj McCall curls, gets the open look at 3, so shooting eye not yet in really for either team. Otago, though, do have a 6-point lead. We'll see it out to Temera.
The Sharks in the water. This Nugget squad defensively, they are relentless in the passing lanes.
And they are stepping up and getting in these guys' faces as well as Salmonot was in. It was back out again.
Nothing easy, though. The late challenge nearly got to by Withers.
McCulloch, and he does find that rhythm from 2 nights ago. He likes it.
He's certainly enjoying himself. But remember, man, stay humble. Stay humble. It's 14-5 right now.
It's hard to be humble when you've dubbed it the revenge tour. Here comes Withers. McCulloch, does he pass again? Upstairs, showtime.
That is brilliant basketball. Love the give by Withers. Not expecting to get it back, but a clever pass by McCulloch for the assist.
And again, McCall all over Temera. Jets just need a settler here. Crawford from the same spot he made a triple from just moments earlier. Not on that occasion already. This is threatening to get out of hand for the Jets.
Well, they need to start shutting down some of these defensive possessions, but shots like that make it difficult.
And that was relatively uncontested when you make the comparison to the 2 ends of the floor.
When it goes well for the Nuggets, I was noticing the other night with Franklin as well as last week. And when they first got together, it just looks so easy. It just looks really unperturbed out there.
Temera get the long rebound, another shot clock. Shane Temera, he will shoot again, and they're almost daring him to at the moment, so they're not up and in on Shane Temera, but he can make that shot.
We got off to a great start last week, making his first 2, but that is the opposite here today, just not finding the distance needed despite some fantastic looks at the rim.
And Natu Tafale does go to the bench.
Mijwawe back in there.
Cooper out there as well in 14. Otago have made a couple of changes too. Aitchison out there. Jack Andrew also wearing 21. They get the stop, the Jets, but the bigger issue has been at this end of the floor. Crawford.
Williams not respecting that fake of the slightest, staying perfectly still.
And on the rebound, a lovely finish. That's really good work off the glass from Nathaniel Salmon.
I like the way he went right back up with it, no hesitation. The offensive glass, there's been a couple of opportunities lately for the Jets.
Kicked out for McCulloch from the corner, and he is just loving life at the moment.
That is a wet ball as well. Never looked like missing.
On the drive, Cooper. And McCulloch there just to do enough to worry Najdawi out of the rebound.
Look at this counterattack, so quick the other way.
McCulloch. Oh, lovely cuts, and was seen by McCulloch. Well done, Aitchison.
Well, yeah, moving without the basketball, not giving up on the play. And Nico McCulloch scoring well, facilitating well. He is really taking a step up on this road trip.
Inside the final 60 seconds of a first quarter that's being dominated by the visitors. Najdawi. Shot clock down into 3-4 seconds, but that's nice from Najdawi. That's what they were missing in that opening 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, they got it down to him in the post, and he settled things down, went with the left against the young Andrews. Need a lot more of that, though. Bit quick on that shot by Nico McCulloch with so much time left on the clock.
Full shot clock if they want it, they don't. And referee's seen a little holding here under the basket. I think Williams the guilty party.
Believe the clock stopped around 13 seconds, even though it looks like it's moving on the screen. We'll see how much time is left exactly once it comes in, but more than likely the last possession of the quarter here for the Jets, as long as they take care of it.
Tafale has gone deep to the bench given the start. Robertson out there as well. Najdawi, nice move, left-hand finish. Oh, very close with the tip in.
Time to get it up, gotta be looking the rim.
Plenty of time here. Oh, that was a little off the mark, but it won't take too much away from a very impressive opening first quarter for the Nuggets. They've come out of the blocks quickly. Defensively, they've put the clamps on the Jets, and they lead this one 23-9.
That's frozen as well.
Seconds. 2, 1, and stop. Nice work. Sanders grabbed himself well. He already had it on earlier because we need him to sweep the floor. The South t-shirt. Well done, Sam.
To Palmerston North, and it is the Nuggets who will lead comfortably, and they've been here, done that in the last 2 or 3 rounds, Casey Franks, so they've just got to make sure they retain composure. The Jets will come at them, no doubt, but the Nuggets life's pretty good for them at the moment.
Well, it's because of their defense. Look at that, holding the Jets to 9 points in the quarter. They are relentless in passing lanes. They're a strong physical team that can guard one-on-one from multiple positions. And they haven't even gotten into the switching yet. So defensively, they're a step ahead. From my view, just about everybody in the competition at the moment. And things are just going to get better offensively for them.
And in Brent Matahare, they have a coach who will be very quick to keep them focused and make sure they stay in the moment and don't play to that scoreboard. It is the risk, is they suddenly think this is going to be another cruise, another easy one, but the Jets will have other ideas. Cooper, who's getting some time on the floor. Lovely pass and a good finish. He's going to be their outlet, isn't he? Nudge Darwa, he's got to be big for them.
Yeah, cutting to the lane, moving without. Sam Timmons a little unlucky to get a hand on that drive and not be able to retain the steal. Jets back into a zone, which did stifle the Nuggets at times in the first quarter, where they just lost their momentum. Well, fantastic drive there. Unfortunate, couldn't make it done, but the rebound.
Oh, Timmons again unselfish. They couldn't get the bucket with another pass to Andrew, but they do draw the foul.
And Jack Andrews solid off the bench as that backup big, but playing for some limited minutes here with big Sam Timmons. So this is a big front line for the Nuggets. And Matt Bardsley as well at that three. He is a physical player too. Look for them to make a lot of noise on the offensive glass while this little five is in the game.
Yeah, Bardsley is all energy. He's a real spark plug off the bench. So Matahare taking an opportunity to rest the bulk of his starting unit. So Timmons and McCall out there on the floor still.
Bardsley really locked in on Crawford on the weak side, giving him zero airspace as the import scorer.
Cooper, he also given little or no room, gets to the free throw line and is off target. Timmons scrambles the rebound.
Tosh McCall just really letting the rest of the squad do the work, letting that ball find him.
Timmons reaches round. He's not shooting, is he? He is assisting. He's dishing it up.
Hot potato in the paint there. None of the bigs wanted to look at the rim, but Matt Bardsley catching the alley-oop with a clever reverse. That is not as easy as he made it look.
Timmons at the moment is a pass-first big. He really is bringing his teammates into the action, and he's tough to budge on those rebounds as well. Draws a foul.
Nathaniel Salmon tries to really get physical and force the action on the post, but giving a bit of size in that matchup made it difficult. Timmons once again on the glass as the Nuggets are controlling things quite well in the early going of the second quarter.
What did you make of Timmons' efforts in the Australian NBL as he has possession here now, given some opportunities and some minutes on the floor?
He's always better with opportunity. I think it was tough to judge anything as we see him get the putback on that one using his physicality, but tough to judge anything from the Breakers season this year. With that long on the road, a lack of production, I think a lack of a few other things really made that a difficult season to take anything out of.
He certainly takes up any challenge that comes his way, though, doesn't he, Sam Timmons? And he'll look to settle into that league if he can over the next 2 or 3 years. He's also a player who loves donning that black singlet if he's given the opportunity, as he has had over the last 2 or 3 years. Some real competition in the bigs, though, for the Tall Blacks roster whenever that is named for FIBA windows these days. And again, Otago, look at this defense. They are just stifling the Jets. Bohannon gets inside. Nice finish.
Jets finding the majority of their success down in the low block, trying to get to the big fellows, but it is tedious to try and get those entry passes there.
Timmons does go to the rack on that occasion. Comes up a little short on the reverse. Bohannon. They really are running the bench, the Jets. Plenty of players getting opportunity in the first half here. Shot clock disappearing quickly. Crawford has to put one up. It's a long two. It's a good two.
That time, late in the shot clock, just not quite aggressive enough, showing off the on-ball screen, giving Crawford the space he needed to nail the buzzer beater. Joseph Ahi to the cup. A lot of jerseys around him.
It might have been Bohannon that got a piece of that and sent it back. Bardsley goes exploring. McCall goes shooting. And why not Taj McCall?
I just really feel like he's got such a control over the game, but when he steps up and tries to lock in offensively, looks very, very easy for him.
For Almasili also on the floor here for the Jets. Doing some pretty tough work in amongst some big bodies on that occasion. There's Nathaniel Salmon.
As a couple of the other starters check back in, and Withers and Williams to join McCall and Timmons as Bardsley stays out there.
For Almasili, he tries one from long range. Bardsley with the rebound, and off he goes. He knows one speed. Timmons on the curl, gets the finish and the foul.
Well, it just didn't look like Bohannon knew where that help was. He had a man behind him trying to hold things up in the guise of Jacob Collis, who apparently didn't let him know he was there because he's on the right shoulder. He forces him over his left shoulder, giving him the opportunity for that N1 finish.
So Timmons early on been looking to offload, looking to bring teammates in, but last couple of possessions he's gone to the basket. As Bardsley attempts the steal unsuccessfully. Bohannon. Again, the Jets really struggling against this Otago defense. For Almasili, tough shot. Gee, that was a bit of a miracle attempt, really, as Withers gets to the other end with an easy one off the glass.
Man, that's the difference.
Williams it was.
Such effort put in on one end for the Jets, and when the Nuggets break off in the other direction, just able to get to the cup at will, creating excellent shots and finishing them with regularity.
Good rest here for Nikau McCulloch as well. He's not been required so far. Not sure if he's been on the floor in this second quarter. As Withers here's taken a tumble and looks to be in a little pain.
I believe a foul's called on Bohannon there on the rebound.
Not sure that was the most successful helping of a teammate up off the floor.
It's definitely successful. He's standing. Not the smoothest.
Is his shoulder dislocated though?
He's still walking around. He's still results. It's a results-based game here.
So Manawatu just looked to have lifted their intensity a little, but that was a magical moment early with McCulloch and Withers. So McCulloch has been out there, but he's enjoying a breather. Bardsley with the energy.
That might have been my favorite replay of the day. Crawford trying to get in on it for the Jets, but the highlights have been, for the most part, one-way action, as the big lead is sitting there for the Nuggets, and scoring at will, shooting a really high percentage here in the first half.
Well, they have recruited superbly well, and gosh, we've seen some quality players come into the league over the last 2 or 3 days. And despite some of the new talent coming on board, though, we saw the Saints go down again this afternoon. Casey, 0-4 to start the season.
Great turnaround by the Rams after less than 24 hours from a difficult loss across the Tasman in Nelson. And to bounce back against a Saints squad who's desperate, sitting at 0-3 on their home court. Not yet full strength, awaiting Xavier Cooks, but he's going to have to get here pretty quick. With an 0-4 start, we're nearly at a quarter of the season done, and the Saints winless. That is something nobody had written down in their future-looking books.
And they had Vodanovic on deck today. Darnay Samuel, I think, with 30 points. He's certainly lighting it up, but chemistry not quite there yet for the Saints. But as you say, well done the Rams, really impressive win by Canterbury. And Judd Flavel will be delighted with that, as Otago thrilled here. Goodness me, that lead is continuing to extend. The Jets not in the same gym as yet. Salmon with the 3 ball. That's good. That will help.
You know, they've got to have some threes. That just makes them 2 for 11 now from the 3-point line. A struggle from outside, only buoyed by the fact that the Nuggets aren't much better at 3 for 10.
Withers almost had his pocket picked. Timmins allowed some room. Comes up short.
Bohannon trying to show off a bit of the handle for the big fella.
He's a little shy of backing into Timmins. He's already bumped bodies a couple of times with the big Kiwi.
Spacing, bit of a struggle for the Jets here.
Bohannon gets to the rim. Timmins just dived in there.
Well, poor defense on that possession by Sam Timmins, not forcing Bohannon out of the paint and on the catch, gambling, allowing the easy finish.
Williams gets to the elbow. That one just rolls back out again.
And the Nuggets starting to become a little one-dimensional on offense. Stopped moving the ball around, haven't really penetrated the defense in the half court. In a few possessions as McCall gets aggressive on the ball.
Being a pest, and that will see that shot clock wind away, and McCall hand up. He says, yeah. But
that was definitely not what he was saying. He was saying ball going the other way.
So timeout is called here at Palmy Arena, and Manawatu 19 points down. They've got some work to do. They need more of this from Klein Salmon and this, but that was on the back of a rare defensive lapse from Otago, and Timmins just owning up to that. Seconds after Bohannon slammed that one away.
Well, the Nuggets up significantly with that big lead of 19, but haven't really played a smooth game yet. It's been patchy at times, occasionally really turning the Jets for 6-8 point runs, but they've left a lot out there on the court. They could be up by considerably more.
I mentioned that something of a rebuilding phase for the Jets. The franchises had their challenges, some more tragic than others, of course, in the off season. They've had to regroup on and off court, and I think one of the key aspects is going to be culture and spirit within the team. If it's going to be a tough campaign for them, and Natu Tafale and the management team, they've got a job to do, haven't they, to keep the boys' spirits up. Again, getting very late in the shot clock. Bohannon had to get that up, no choice at that stage, and was always up against it. Williams, nice reverse. Timmins there with the follow.
Just tipping the ball in with ease. Didn't really look like he had much control of it, but controlled it well enough to get the 2.
Certainly Williams looks to be a focal point for their offense here this afternoon.
12 points to go with 8 rebounds now for Big Sam Timmins.
I think he had just the 5 points in the win over the Bulls, so already well exceeding that number. McCall with another foul. Not so happy on that occasion.
Jerry McCall letting the bench know he's happy to stay in, picking up another foul there, but might be having a sub come his way.
Fa'amasili goes to the line, and they need every freebie that comes their way. And never looked like missing either.
Wouldn't mind seeing the Jets put a little pressure up the court, do a little something to try and knock this Nugget squad off balance. The zone is a bit of a changeup, but it's a passive changeup. They're on their heels. They need to get aggressive, get out there, force the mistakes.
Williams almost given the latitude there to take the 3. McCall, great pass for Aitchison. That's a good finish. Made it look easier than it was.
Really nice catch and came to that jump stop, giving himself options off of that catch and able to flip home the little baby hook shot of sorts.
Temara on McCall. He puts that left shoulder down. McCall, is he called for? No, Travel is called. I thought for a second there that McCall might have been called for his third.
Yeah, he was physical enough in that case while knocking it away. A tough matchup for Shane Temara with Tajiri McCall hounding him as a ball handler. I mean, Temara's more of a 4, at times a 5, so to have a point guard quality defender guarding you when you're trying to put it on the floor is not the easiest task.
Williams, little hesitation, and came up short off the glass.
Caught between minds, and that one was thinking past all the way and got stuck with the jumper in the hand.
Crawford. He will shoot the 3, and he can shoot it if he gets hot and gets on a roll. Who knows? Manawatu could get back into this.
Finally gets a little bit of space there after the defender goes underneath the screen. A big no-no on a shooter like that.
McCall made the space, and then the great pass for Timmins.
Physical play. Tajiri McCall just shedding defenders with his physicality before just dropping it off for the easy finish.
Temara just turns and shoots and drains that one as well. This is a good spell here for Manawatu.
Shane Temara sticking with the triple. No luck early, but that's a scorer's mentality. Keep letting it fly. This is the game plan. This is the shot I can make. I'll make it eventually.
Aitchison, the cut was so good from Withers. The pass found him. Easy bucket.
Well, good defense by Temara on the wing, but if you're denying like that, the backdoor help has to be there. In that case, Bohannon, who was really locked up with the big fella Sam Timmins down low.
And what was a good spell here. The Nuggets have responded to that lift in intensity from the Jets, and if they make the next bucket, the lead goes beyond 20. McCall just stands and shoots, and rebound for Bohannon, who sells the foul.
Not a great possession for the Nuggets. You can certainly tell when they're trying to focus a little bit more on getting something done, and when they're just sort of satisfied to let the ball fly around and see whose turn it is. And that time, just sort of taking turns. Who wants this one? I'll take it, says McCall towards the end of the shot clock. But a bit of a lack of focus, which can happen when you're up 20.
I think some players had headed to the Racine, but no penalty here. So the Jets having to bring the ball down the floor. For Almasili, Crawford. Almost lost the handle. Bohannon turns, has Andrew up against him. He might enjoy that against the youngster rather than Timmins. And Bohannon gets in amongst it and gets possession off Andrew, and then goes right up to the rack. So the final play of the half goes the way of the Jets, but it's been a half that's very much gone the way of the Otago Nuggets, dominating proceedings here at Fly Palmy Arena. Halftime in the Cells NBL, it's Otago 47, the Jets 30.
All right. Can I please have, I've had some to the court. Warren Doherty and Les. Warren Doherty and Les. And then also Janine Williams and Case Williams. If I can please have those people join me on the court. So that's Warren Doherty and Les. Are you here? You've been volunteered to come down. And Janine Williams and Case Williams. If you could please make your way to the court. Is Janine and Case here? You coming down? Oh, great. Good work, good work. Lady makes some good banana cakes too. What's your name? Yes, who's Warren? You coming? We need one more person. We need a second. In the hat. The one in the hat. The one in the hat. All right. I'm guessing you're the one that's taken the hat off. All right. We need one more person to join Laz. Laz needs a partner in crime. So we have one more. It has to be an adult. It has to be an adult. It needs to be an adult. An adult. Where? The guy in the pink and the salmon colour hoodie. Oh, funny, the one in the salmon colour hoodie was one of the salmons that actually volunteered. What's that? Oh, this is Warren. Wow, you made it. Great work. No, you got lost. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to put the ball down in the middle. We're going to get, I'll get you, Case, my guy, to go down that end. You're going to go down that end. You're going to go down that end. And you're going to go down that end. And I'm going to explain what you're going to do. You've got a bag of goodies up for grabs. So we've got some supplements from Hawley's and then a couple of other things in there as well. What you're going to do, it's in my pocket. Jump on that side, Case. At the baseline, guys. What you're going to do, first of all, do you want to go down to that? You're going to count their shots. What you're going to do, so you're going to bear crawl. So adults, you're going to bear crawl, which is
Well, welcome back. The halftime entertainment's in full flow here at Fly Palmy Arena. The respective coaches will be mid-speech, I'm sure, with Ngātu Tawhale certainly having the bigger challenge in front of him. In the opening quarter, it was a 14-point margin for the Otago Nuggets. It's not the Hawks and the Bulls, folks. Rest assured, you have tuned into the right game. But the good news, I guess, Casey, is that Manawatu kind of went toe-to-toe with Otago. They certainly improved offensively in that second quarter.
They had stretches where they looked like they would be able to score. Outside of a lack of familiarity, they probably need to work on their execution and need to know where they're trying to get their shots from. Turnovers not too bad overall. The shot quality was certainly affected by a tenacious defense of the Nuggets, but all in all, they'd be pleased that they've got an improved talent base and aren't too far off the mark. As now we get a look at the correct teams, but the names are still the same. Sam Timmons with 14 points leading the way with Todd Withers. For the Jets, Robert Crawford and Zane Nijwawe able to lead the way, although no scores in double figures.
Yeah, and certainly Sam Timmons after a start that saw him assisting more than scoring. As we look at the boards, he's nudging a double-double. There's the 2 assists for Sam Timmons that he picked up early. Bohannon with the assist, but is that what they need from their big guy?
Well, they need anything they can get. I'd like to see Bohannon lock in a little bit offensively, be a bit more aggressive, step away from the jump shot, but still settling himself in a nice statistical half if the statistics don't belie the lack of effect he's had on the game itself.
And Todd Withers busy with the hands, the 3 steals for the Americans. So Otago continue their recent form that has seen them pick up 3 on the trot. This, of course, could nudge them further up that points table for the Jets. They are 0-3, and they desperately need to get on the board. They've got a job to do, though, in the second half. Nuggets lead this one by 17 at the main break.
dance moves. Can I have some music for dancing, please, DJ?
Of their size and speed in the transition game. If the Jets can just do a little bit better job of taking care of the basketball, finding a better quality of shot, they still certainly have a chance to get in this from the deficit they're looking at, but it is a hard slog indeed.
And Flying Salmon also made a 3-ball, but it was all too rare. And on that occasion, that was a rare lapse defensively, with Timmins looking to sneak in there. Bohannon showed his strength there and went straight back upstairs. Well, of course, that was up against young Jack Andrew on that occasion. So the Nuggets, they'll just be loving life at the moment in the Cells NBL. They've won 3 on the trot and looking to make it 4, and looking like a very successful road trip.
And all you can ask for on that double is to get those victories. Playing extremely well right now as a unit. Everybody coming off the bench even today is playing their role, taking part in the action. But this one not over yet, as the Manawatu faithful are looking for a little bit something more to cheer for.
And they need the faithful as well. If you're in Palmerston North, in the area, love your hoops, love your basketball, get in behind this team. It's outside of the imports, a pretty young side, something of a rebuilding phase, so they could well do with that support from the community. And they do create a lot of fun here at the gym for their home games, so get along and support. We're seeing such great support across the league. So many teams doing a great job in their presentation of their home games. There's last couple of words, they're all smiles, no surprise there. And just see Bardsley there, Casey. You must have played on a fair few rosters where that guy is so crucial. His energy, I mean, he'll be great at training sessions. He'll be great in the dressing room. He's always going to have something to say. He's just a he's just a spark plug, isn't he?
It's always valuable to have the guys who are out there working above and beyond probably what would be expected their talent level, but their energy and enthusiasm is always contagious. You know, those are certainly the guys that you can look to when things are down, but also in moments like this when you're up 17 points and, you know, it's important to come out and really play like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. That's harder for most players than it sounds, but a guy like Bardsley's got that energy. He'd be able to give you that bump if that initial 5 aren't able to step up to that challenge.
Second half about to get underway. McCulloch out there, and they've had the luxury of a guy who scored 29 2 nights ago. He's played less than 10 minutes so far in this one, Nikau McCulloch. Whether that's part of the plan or just a reflection of the scoreboard. As Williams has an early look at a triple, comes up short. Salmon with the board. Crawford, what can the Jets get up to early on here?
Keith Williams, not super aggressive on the offensive end. Happy to take the jump shot in transition, got caught on the switch, tried to use his quickness to get around the Njwawe post up, but a little too handsy from behind. Getting pinged with the foul.
Najdawi certainly is a guy they'll look to go to if they can, and they do, but Withers gets a mitt in the way.
Withers is lengthy on the defensive end, covering a lot of space. When he's in that denial position, makes the entry pass extremely difficult.
Crawford has to get out of a tight spot, does so. Salmon with the look at the triple. That would have been nice. That would have got the crowd into it as well to start the second half, but they stay quiet. No change to the scoreboard. McCulloch. Timmins. Nice ball movement, sharing of the ball. It doesn't get the end result, but nice work from Otago. They got the look they wanted, I would think.
Not a bad look, but they've lost that aggression on the rim, starting to settle for the jump shots. They can't take their eyes off the paint and the work they did in there. That's what got them the lead.
Nice from Momosia.
Doesn't relax. Really made to work to get into that 12-footer by Tajiri McCall, but able to find that space for the finish.
Get another stop, make a bucket. The margin's currently 15, make it 17 again as Big Sam gets in there.
Well, pick and roll ran to perfection, and Sam Timmins using the up fake to excellent effect as Nikau McCulloch tries to just snake it away from Paif Momosia.
And again, Casey, you've mentioned it, that this is an unfamiliar role for Momosia, isn't it, in terms of playing the point guard, and we see McCulloch get in there. Opposition teams will do the scout, won't they? Put some pressure on him.
Yeah, he's going to have to adjust to a little bit more of the pressure as that main ball handler coming up, but certainly good for his career if he can become more of a facilitator and ball handler given his size. Difficult to play for that slasher role that he was previously trying to attain.
Oh, that is a tough shot. It's scored effectively though by Bohannon.
Using the up fake nicely there, giving himself a little bit of space for the fadeaway off the baseline, able to still hit it over the big 6'10" Simmons.
McCulloch off the glass. Timmins with the rebounds. Had a couple of cracks at it, couldn't bring it in. Crawford now for the Jets. Momosia. He gets to the rack again. This is good from the Jets, and it does bring the crowd into it.
Well, the straight line drive there, quick fake to the baseline, but then doesn't hesitate, puts the ball on the floor and attacks down the middle. And that kind of determination against this defense is exactly what you need, not giving them time to recover, not giving time for the weak side to come over and take away those opportunities. Just like that, 17 down to 13. And they've done a nice job of coming out with the aggression here in the third quarter. Nuggets are going to have to find a way to match it.
And Momosia without a point in the first half, so immediately just a change in approach perhaps from the Jets point guard, looking to threaten the bucket as well. That's a good stop now for the Jets. Can they get little momentum? Opportunity here for Crawford. He didn't settle for the three. Back inside for Salmon. Here come the Jets.
And the Nuggets have completely lost focus here in the third quarter as the Jets have picked up the work rate, and they're starting to claw their way back into the ball game. The question is it a 2-minute aberration for the Nuggets, or is this a new normal in today's game? Have they run out of a little bit of juice, and have they taken that foot off the pedal for too long for that engine to get humming again?
Yeah, and 8-2, it's exactly what they needed, an 8-2 run, something similar to start the second, to just lift their spirits and see the intensity lift again. Brent Matahade recognizing that and just trying to take the air out of this balloon, calling time.
And they've been able to do it in a hurry. I think a lot of it has to do with the lack of focus offensively for the Nuggets. They've just been coming down, they've stopped moving the ball as well. They've stopped making the defense bend to their will and are happy now to get 1-2 passes and chuck up a triple. Well, that's not what they need. And heck of a minute and 10 seconds here from the Jets, scoring 7 points in less than a minute to get their way back into this ball game. So that's the work rate they've had. The question is, can they keep it up?
And can they get another stop here? As McCulloch over the half courts under some pressure from Momoisia. Timmins puts the move on. Bohannon too strong.
And the official at half court calls the push in the back as well. And that's the kind of move I like to see from Sam Timmins, ripping through with the perfect combination of his size and strength, his speed. The rip through baseline, that big step, able to reach across and get the reverse to fall. A bit of a push from Bohannon, who heads to the bench now with a bit of foul trouble. As just when the Nuggets needed it most, and Timmins steps up and quiets the crowd.
Big Sam at the Razine. Can't make the and one. So a small mercy there for the Jets. Nice touch here off Withers, who again has just got that length to trouble. If the pass is not accurate, if it's not on the money, he's looking to steal some of it. Najdawi with the 15-footer over Timmins.
Yeah, really isn't his first preference to go for that jump shot, but given that kind of time and lack of defensive pressure, he will make you pay.
And the steal. The Jets really do have their tails up. Momoisia looked at the support and said, I'll do it myself. This is great from Manawatu.
Well, they're doing it with ball pressure and quick transitions from defense to offense, not letting this Nugget defense get set up in the half court. Makes it a lot easier to score against them.
They are right back in this contest. Timmins talking it back and finds his way through somehow.
Well, a multitude of head fakes and shoulder fakes on that play, getting guys up all over the place. And that last little shot fake got 2 up, able to squeeze through for the layup.
And they needed that. Calling for the travel was some of the Otago bench. Swiped away by McCall from Crawford.
Tajari McCall can close space with such a quickness, making what looked like a reasonably open shot turn into a block shot opportunity for him.
The lead has been as big as 24 for the Nuggets. You wouldn't have thought at that point you'd be saying that Sam Timmins needed a settler for Otago, but it's kind of what that last bucket was, as the Jets look to, again, if they can, bring this back inside double figures.
And the ball just starting to bounce the way of the boys in green. Things are starting to become a little bit more difficult for the Nuggies.
Temara, who has pulled the trigger on the 3-ball a few times, and that's turned over cheaply. Miscommunication there. Crawford with the pass, and almost then saying, well, Shane, where were you? And hands in there from Salmon,
who tries to be playful about it and say it might not have been a foul, but a bit too much contact there, as Timmins drew initially a triple team on the catch.
McCulloch will inbounds for Otago. Timmins up high. McCulloch drives to the basket. Timmins lurking in the paints and might yet get a piece of this. No, Manawatu scramble well.
Well done by Salmon to hustle, outwork and out-hustle everybody on that.
Oh, great pass, great cut to the basket and the and one opportunity.
And the secondary transition break there. The initial transition unsuccessful, but a great run by Zane Njwawi. Cutting through the lane, making himself available, and defensively, Sam Timmins wasn't pushing it to the full metal. Got caught behind the play and then commits the silly foul, making the three-point play an opportunity a reality.
And he gets a seat. And Majdawe with a chance to reduce this to an 8-point margin. Can't do so, but they have still effected something of a minor comeback here. They've got to defend better than that, though. McCall just has his way.
It looks so easy for him when he decides to actually do it. Just looking like that hot knife through butter. Smooth.
Majdawe. Spin move, but Withers was right there and block shot. McCulloch now. McCall all the time in the world for the triple, too much on it. Andrew with the board. Williams for the triple.
Well, I thought that was all net, but it was nothing but on the air ball.
Yeah, it was a little optical illusion for sure. Williams, oh, nice reverse. They just can't get it to drop though, Otago.
There have been some nice shots created. The looks have been solid these last couple of possessions, but difficult to find the bottom of the net.
McCall is all over Crawford, and he finally sneaks free. Does Crawford, still can't get the basketball to drop, but does draw the foul.
An immense amount of work on that possession for Crawford just to get that touch down low. Gonna be some foul trouble in this one now for the Nuggets for the rest of this quarter. But not too many on McCall because they're leaving him in there.
Third personal on McCall. Thanks to a little help from someone in the crowd. Crawford does it.
Amazing when like a 25-year-old joke still gets laughs out there in the gym. It's impressive. I could have sworn Bobby Boucher himself, the water boy, was there.
Crawford in the zone. This really has been an impressive 6 minutes from the Jets. The next 4, though, you would think are crucial to their chances in this one, because such was the lead the Nuggets had, that the Jets have to lift again.
Yeah, the Jets, they've done enough to work their way back into it, but the work has just begun. Still have a few steps to go, and the Nuggets have a bit left in the tank to call upon.
Williams. Momosia was there, and Timmins with the foul. So he wasn't off the floor for long.
Just short arming it again, just to believe the second personal foul on Sam Timmins, possibly the third. Our stats are a little bit delayed. There's a difference there between 2 and 3. Not where you want to get a foul, though, for Sam Timmins. 90 feet away from your own basket, contesting a rebound. That is a cheap one that you want to keep in your pocket for later.
Temara, the 3 from the corner, and the call is from referee.
Was that a foul on the shot? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure even Shane Temara. No, it's Momosia who's going to the line.
But it's, yeah, apparently shooting. I'm not. Sorry, I'm a little not quite sure why that's shooting, as we're not yet in the bonus.
Again, unless our stats playing catch up, but certainly what we're seeing on screen suggests that neither side yet in the penalty, but Momosia will go to the line, shooting 2.
We'll have to assume our stats are a little bit slow on the uptake on the fouls. So that was the 5th personal foul for the Rams, sorry, the
team
Nuggets.
Team fouls. So they're going to have to play the last 3.5 in the penalty. So they've got to be clever. Timmins double team straight away. He busts his way through. Look to find Bardsley. Needs to get the ball up. They've got to shoot it here. Withers does. Not in time though. Shot clock violation. Again, credit the Jets. We didn't see that in the first half.
A lot of scrambling on the defensive end. Good communication. And that defensive effort with 3 minutes left here in the quarter is opening this door for a comeback, but they need to find some consistency of execution on this end of the court.
Crawford might be the guy looking to take that responsibility. Withers with him all the way. Crawford again. Withers is on the job, gets a hand up. It's a pretty tough look against that sort of defense. Good board though from Bohannon. Temara, he thought about the 3, steps inside, 12-footer, no good. Rebound. They are scrambling the Jets, but it didn't drop for them.
You can see Shane Temara shot that ball on the way down, making it a difficult make.
Timmins has the and one, and that's how quickly they can take the air out of this building. Because of that lead they had early, the Nuggets, they deny the Jets and then go to the other end of the floor, and they're back out by that double-figure margin before you know it.
Well, Sam Timmins running the lane. Deep, deep catch, and that is automatic too. Probably don't even want, not worth the foul. Just let him have that instead. It's an N1. Stretch back out to 10.
For Al-Masili back out there running proceedings for the Jets. So they've added the other points now too. It's 12 points for the Nuggets. Oh, that is tough D from McCall.
He is stronger than his frame looks.
Oh, and they just open them up, and this is where the energy levels. You pay a price for that big effort in the opening 6 of the quarter. They're just running a little empty now, the Jets. Temara, nice.
Todd Withers disappointed in the lack of a challenge, but Shane Temara, that's the speed and that's the pace he needs to play with, quicker with the attacks, less playing around with the ball.
Can they give themselves a sniff of a chance going into the final quarter, the Jets? Withers, a long way outside that 3-point line.
Timmins again worth the work underneath, not boxed out enough by Bohannon.
And he goes to work. Timmins, Bohannon can't stop him, gets the roll.
Just willed it over the rim, hit the outside of the iron, but somehow is able to trickle over the front.
So they've withstained the pressure. Bohannon, goodness me, circus tricks there.
And the circus trick fooled Melanie O'Connor there into the foul call. It didn't look like a ton of contact from our angle, but from hers, a bit too much for the liking.
Timeout is called, so that's margin came down to as few as 8. And it's always the challenge, and teams will know that they just have to sustain that run. A team's always going to go at you. The challenge is, can you go again? And at the moment, the Jets have been unable to.
But they're holding nicely, though. They've done enough to get themselves back into this ball game. You know, when you're down big, coming into a second half, you're looking at that fourth quarter as if we can get down 10 points coming down into the final 10 minutes, that's achievable. You know, a point a minute. That's not too much. That's not a work rate that is unreasonable. So they're right there. 14 points, 11 minutes to go. If they can close out this last minute and a bit strongly with a stop or two, or maybe a bucket or two, they will have a lot of momentum going their way. Conversely, the Nuggets, it's all about execution. When they're locked in and they're focused offensively, executing at a high rate of speed. I just think they've got too much for the Jets, but that level of execution has been inconsistent this afternoon.
So 1 minute 14 to play in the third. They led by 17 at halftime. So this quarter, even with these last couple of baskets for the Nuggets, still belongs to the Jets, but they need to own it. They need to dominate it. And they must finish strongly, as Casey Frank has described. Bohannon can start that process here at the Racine free throw line.
Solid afternoon for him. 8 points, 11 rebounds. The shooting hasn't been too bad, other than the 0 for 2 from the line, but first trip to the line today, statistically, he's been contributing 4 assists in there as well.
He's certainly gone full noise with the shoes matching the uniform. Don't know if he had them in the kit bag already or if he did some research on the colour of the Jets. Did John Bohannon. And McCall loses the handle, much to the delight of the home fans. Rygrin.
Jets still sticking around. 13 points, a minute to go. They have fought their way back into this one and touch distance as they continue to make mistakes.
So it was I think a COVID or civil defence emergency practice alert, was it, Casey?
The phone's on silent. It's not my fault.
It's well, no, it wasn't yours. It was in the stadium. It was going off in the stadium. So the announcer just saying. So the test message, if you're getting that around the country, it is a test. We heard all the phones going off around the gym. Nuggets, oh, that hurts.
Oh, that is a timely hit there by Withers, who has really done the job from the three-point arc, stretching it out to 16 as the Jets did all that work to get back in the ballgame.
Final 30 seconds or so. And back with the big board was Withers.
Snatched that one out of the sky. And I love the efficiency of movement with Withers. He is not wasting any of his energy.
McCall comes up short. Last opportunity here. Oh, Melanie very quick on the whistle. Says we're going to go with the game arrow. The old-fashioned jump ball doesn't happen anymore.
And while that doesn't reward the Nuggets with the possession here, they get the ball back at the start of the fourth now. So a huge hustle play there by Josh Aitchison.
And they had a little more time, but they got the three-quarter court shot up, but no good. They've gone toe-to-toe with the Nuggets, but because of that early deficit, they needed to be stronger than that. But the Jets showing promising signs. The Nuggets, though, lead it by 16 with 10 to play.
And we're going to do this today, and you're going to win this ball. What you're going to do is see if you can get that in there. Do you want to go a bit closer? All right, cheer them on, guys. Woo! Oh, so close, almost. And again, and again. Oh, here we go. Go. Awesome work, the
1 quarter to play, and outside of that rather one-sided opening quarter, the Manawatu Jets have shown that they can live with the best at this level. They just dug a huge hole, and so far, despite their best efforts, they cannot get themselves out of it. The Nuggets responded to the run and then extended again and start this final quarter with a high degree of comfort. Sam Timmins gets involved. Andrew Dewhurst with you alongside Casey Frank, as a triple from McCulloch will certainly light things up for the Nuggets at the start of the fourth. But Sam Timmins, Casey, with I think you described it off here as a rather quiet 25.
Quiet 25, checking through the stat sheet. Wouldn't realize he was already up to that number. 25 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Nikhil McCulloch picking up his 9th point. Not quite the same as the 29 he dropped the other day, but his 3rd triple of the evening, or sorry, the early evening, and stretches the lead out to 19.
So Todd Withers just grimacing a little. He might have caught something on the end of the hand, the finger there, but Bohannon takes a seat. Not sure if is that foul trouble for Bohannon. Our stats are not.
I believe that is foul number 4 on Bohannon.
Okay, so it is. So they want to look after him despite the scoreline. Timmins, Najdawi. Timmins with a quick spin move, but to there with the help was Temara.
Yeah, and that's one of those times when he's looking for the reverse, but he can go up strong on the same side with his explosiveness and finishing ability.
Omoisia. Cooper. There's a lot of traffic there. Somehow the pass made it through, and somehow off the glass.
What a fight by Zane Njawe. I thought the contact was initiated by him, but look at him get in there, and looked like a lot of ball by McCall. But the swipe is called on the arm, and 1. McCall picks up the foul. Looks like he's heading to the bench with foul number 3. So disappointed he was walking off the wrong side of the court. Bench is on the other side of the court, young fella.
He might have been headed to the concession stand. Merchandise, maybe. Fancied himself a bit of Jets merchandise to take home. Najdawi makes the free throw.
I don't know. Merchandise is merchandise, but Nuggets, for me, got the cleanest unis in the comp. Those things are clean. Look at that gold strip.
Williams. Timmins. Temara was across quickly to help Najdawi again. From the corner, no good, nothing but the fresh air here in Palmy Arena.
Good rotation of the ball. That's what you want to see, that movement. But want to penetrate the defense as well. Don't just settle for the jumper.
McCulloch off the glass, and in desperation, Salmon keeps that one in. Cooper now might go all the way, but there's a little reach-in foul here called on Ahi.
Yeah, Joseph Ahi trying to keep the hands out, but apparently a bit too much body.
Crawford checks in for the Jets. Salmon's job done for the moment there, just giving the American a spell. Temara turns, shoots, back of the iron, rebound, good hands from McCulloch.
That's a nice rebound by Nikhil McCulloch, getting himself back into play. Can't control it, but knows where his teammates are.
Williams through traffic and a whistle on the play.
When he's determined to get to the hole, he is on a straight line to the cup. Just not enough defensive resistance from the Jets. You gotta force him off that straight line. He's rejecting a screen and still getting to the cup. With that kind of quickness, that is just a breakdown defensively.
Looks to be a very good balance. Casey, what are your thoughts? This trio of imports for the Nuggets, any one of them looks like they can step in, do a job, whether it's defense or offense, and light it up when perhaps the others might be quiet.
Yeah, well, it looked like a possible offensive foul there. Crawford gets away with it, but yeah, absolutely. I think the key is that their ability on both ends of the court for all three players. They're stout physical defenders. They got a lot of quickness, good size, very switchable. Really nice pickup in the recruiting department by the Nuggets this season. An excellent complement to what they already had in Timmons and some of the other young players.
Timmons lost the handle there. Crawford with the quarterback pass, and there is Withers getting back and the hustle. Even with that lead, and Import getting back and getting a hand in the play.
I love Withers at defensive intensity. He is just locked in as we see the Keith Williams rebound and put-back attempt, having a laugh about it. He is enjoying himself. But Todd Withers, man, he is fantastic on the defensive end. Getting back for that steal there. He has got the size to guard the interior, the quickness and speed to guard the guys on the perimeter.
And he's earned a breather. Just top of screen. Todd Withers there, grabbing a drink, headed to the bench.
I mean, this is only a couple days removed from suffering cramps against the Bulls, so it may be possible that his day may be done if this lead can be maintained, as Sam Timmons gets a little too physical on Zane Njwawi. Possibly sold that contact. The fourth on Timmons, who will see Todd Withers check right back into the game. Quick break for him.
What cramp. They certainly will want to manage players through this early part of the campaign. So the Jets, have they got one more run in them? Potential clearly is there. Can they find a way through this Nuggets defense, though? Not on that occasion. Williams into the paint. He made room for the shot and just couldn't quite finish. And I'll look at the basket at the other end for Momosia.
Well, the ability to turn those misses into quick offensive opportunities is exactly what's needed on the menu for the Jets. Nice change of possession there, and Paif Momosia attacking the rim as we have a timeout to discuss things. The 16-point lead with 6:30 to go. And I gotta say, that 16 seems a little bit bigger than the actual number.
And credit the Jets for that. I mean, they look like they could have been blown out of their own gym here, but they've hung tough with the Nuggets, and sure, they might have been in cruise mode a couple of times, but the Jets have shown they can go with a team like the Nuggets.
Yeah, they've been able to touch base. It does seem as though that Otago hasn't really coming out of third gear. And I had a similar feeling to them when they were playing the Bulls the other night. This is a team that has yet to start firing on all cylinders, but could be partially a product of the makeup of the team. You know, a lot of trust in the starters. They're probably relying a little less on those backups, so they got to find a way to play those big minutes. But come the end of the season, I do have a feeling that the bursts of intensity will be lasting a little bit longer.
How long do you wait, Casey Frank? And I know you're writing a regular column for the league. How long do you wait for the Sal's NBL to really believe that teams are what they are going to be come the top six?
Well, I think you can see signs pretty early on, and you know, I think in particular in offensive and defensive identities. And I think the teams that were able to get a defensive identity this early in the season, that's something that you can probably pinpoint as something that will go through the rest of the year. And for teams like that, I look at Otago, who we haven't seen a lot of, but defensively can lock in. The Tuatara with the size they have inside, and you know, the ability to shut down the paint. I think defensively have a really nice shape there. But you know, as the season goes on, teams change with those injuries as well as just fluctuations in form. So every week to week, you have an idea about it, but it's certainly not the picture painted in steel. I don't know why you'd paint in steel, though.
It would certainly be long-lasting. It would be long-lasting. Yeah, because I'm just curious. I look at that ladder at the moment, and we talked about it, the Saints 0-4. They are not going to stay at the bottom of the ladder, but how quickly and how much time have they dug themselves too big a hole? I look at the Hawks. They've been a little hot and cold, a little inconsistent. The Rams, are they starting to find their identity? It's fascinating, isn't it, at this stage of the campaign?
And it can change from day to day. You know, if you look at the way the Rams performed as a whole, in Nelson, yeah, it was a close game, but they didn't get production from everyone. It was a rather disappointing game. the next day, they're able to get a huge win against the strong Saints squad. So, you know, just 24 hours and no change in personnel really can change everything completely.
And yeah, must mention the Giants. Phil Jones will soon remind us if we don't, but they look to have recruited well. Fitch has got some local talent contributing there as well, so the Giants starting to hum along too.
Look at that, just quick hand. Todd Withers, some length, man. You know, I think he stands around in that 6'8" range, but that looks like about a 7'2" wingsman.
And again, the basketball finds its way into his hands. McCulloch, Aitchison sharing the ball, looking for an open look, and they might get another one here. Withers not shy on the shot, second time, found his range.
And if at first you don't succeed, try again. Is the Withers motto on that one. Making it look pretty pure both times, but he'll take one for two.
The Jets won't want to undo their strong third quarter here.
Josh Aitchison out there accounting for some defense. Little play on words, of course, because he is an accountant by trade. A nice effort there, though, on the import Crawford. Always good to see Josh Aitchison taking up that challenge defensively.
Aitchison, one of those players, we think of Bardsley as well, who we've mentioned. Go back to that showdown during lockdown. So many players took their opportunity, a chance to impress and get a foothold in the Sal's NBL, and great to see a number of them going on with it.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for a lot of young players. As we see the pressure almost successfully gaining possession for the Jets, but Withers showing the full skill set.
And he is shooting on sight now, Todd Withers. They've earned that right, Otago. They want to keep their habits good, though.
Yeah, it's starting to become a bit of a chuck and duck game out there. Execution lacking as referee Sampan calls a foul. Bohannon heads back to the stripe to see if he can hit it from the Razine.
On Aitchison again. He looks distraught, the accountant. You don't want to see your accountant with that look on his face.
Well, it's all facts and figures. When it's numbers, it's definitive. But unfortunately for him, officiating is not a yes or no science, black or white. There's shades of gray.
And they can't capitalize from the Razine. Final 5 minutes of this one. And Brent Mata Hardy is still paying the Jets their dues here. Total respect, largely sticking with his starters. That might change in the last 2 or 3 minutes. McCall comes up a long way short. Might have got fingers on that defensively, Momosia.
Just missing a player as Bohannon didn't run down the lane until late. Crawford trying to get the foul, I think.
I think he dislocated about 8 limbs.
Oh, that's a technical on Bohannon. Had a little something to say to Melanie O'Connor, and she did not like that. And I believe that will be Bohannon's day.
Not the ideal way to pick up your 5th.
Not the debut you're hoping for.
So Withers to shoot the tech. A little exchange there with Crawford.
Well, 4.5 left now. Really, I think for both teams, you mentioned it earlier, but it is about continuing to form those good habits early in the season.
And now Andrew will go to the line for the shots on the back of the initial foul that was called after Crawford had contorted somehow to get a look at the basket.
That was an awkward jump shot.
I think it was the lack of a call on that might have upset Bohannon that led to his departure from the game.
Jack Andrew to the bench. Sam Timmons checks back in. We've been surprisingly up 19 with 4.5 to play. As the Nuggies apply some token pressure up the court.
Withers still complete focus defensively. That's a good basket by Crawford against one of the players who will likely be a contender for Defensive Player of the Year.
And that foul, 85 feet from the basket, will lead to free throws for McCall as the Salmon brothers got a little too aggressive away from the rim.
Mentioned Nikau McCulloch at the top of this game, Casey, and his 29 points, and I believe you had a chat with him the other night after that game against the Bulls, and there's a little humour and yet a little bit of serious attitude as well with his approach at the moment. But could this be where he finds his feet with the Nuggets? Is this the right roster, and is he getting the right looks here?
Yeah, I think most definitely it's a great landing spot for him. You know, with young players, especially for a guy like Nikau, who hasn't been surrounded by talent exactly for the last couple of years, is now doing that. So probably a little bit pressure on him. He doesn't have to do a lot. He won't be asked to overcome too much as Todd Withers loses the ball there, surprisingly. But, and you know, when you do have eyeballs on those teammates of yours, it does open up the opportunity for a game like he had the other night in Franklin. And that's just going to lift his confidence. And as that confidence lifted, he'll be able to settle more and more into that role.
And he is a young man who will back himself if things are going his way.
As we take a stroll through some of the Jets highlights. These highlights, man, it's tough shots made under pressure. It has not been nothing easy at any point in the game for the gang in green. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't get any easier with just 3:51 left to play.
So the Nuggets enjoyed the comfort of leading by some margin from early in this one. They jumped out quickly, and at the end of the first quarter enjoyed a 14-point lead at 23-9, and they resisted that third quarter comeback from the Jets, and just held them at arm's length with apparent relative ease, it seems.
Yeah, steadied the ship nicely. And when you're able to do that on the back end of a doubleheader on the road, still being relatively unfamiliar with your teammates, that's an excellent sign for the rest of their season.
There's Darwi with plenty of effort there.
The Jets still providing plenty of pressure. The Nuggets should stay aggressive. Don't want to just walk it up. Want to keep putting pressure on the rim, especially if they're going to be pressed.
Good defense from Najdawi, but ultimately the price he pays is the three from McCall in shutting Timmons down.
Got it lined up. It never looks like missing. It doesn't seem affected in any way by the defenders.
Timmons with the board. He continues to rack up the stats in this one. It's a big double-double for Sam Timmons in the Manawatu. And McCall is just shooting for fun now, although that wasn't so much fun.
Fun for somebody.
Momosia, and we are now in a bit of a training scrimmage mode. It's end-to-end stuff.
It does have the look of Saturday morning at the Y. As Nuggets are looking to slow things down, stretch out this game clock, and just try and take high-quality shots.
Timmons, Najdawi, and Timmons draws the foul from the slightly lighter framed defender. He may give up a little in size and bulk, Najdawi, but certainly not in effort. He's a player in the early rounds of the Cells NBL that we've seen already is totally committed to the Jets' cause.
I'm a bit surprised that the Nuggets still have the full contingent of players. McCall has just gone to the bench, but at this stage in the game, you might think he'd be going a little bit deeper into those subs.
Here's Timmins now. His evening perhaps has concluded.
I guess for the Nuggets, they only have 4 subs, so they can't get all starters on the bench.
Yeah, the nature of hitting the road, you don't necessarily have the luxury of the entire army to call upon. As Temera has done most of his work from outside the three-point line, but he gets down and dirty in the paint there.
I'd like to see a bit more of him in that space. In particular, when he has those size mismatches down low, he's got that explosive leaping ability where he can really take advantage when he's got a smaller man on him in the post.
So interesting to see with the 4 subs as to who draws that short straw. Withers at the moment still on the floor, so to McCulloch. Temera with the rebound. Bardsley's just reached in there.
Unfortunately, he's got some words. And you don't want to get on the officials' bad side when you're up 16 on the road with 2 minutes left. You save that for really important times.
Yeah, and especially when you're likely to see these same officials within the next couple of weeks. You don't want to start forming that sort of relationship.
And for the most part, for the local guys, many of these relationships are set in stone. I always found officiating crews to have a rather long memory.
Did you have cause to give them bad memories, Casey?
Opinions differ.
McCulloch in rhythm, but so too was Momosia. In fact, it was Salmon. Here is Momosia. Temera backs out of the baseline to make some space, draws the foul, and the crowd enjoying the continued effort from their team.
Well, that is a strong creation of space there by Shane Temera, opening up the vault as Nikal McCulloch heads to the bench. Might have possibly fouled out there. He did not, I don't think, but that's the only excuse I have for still seeing Todd Withers out on the court left alone.
You were saying that he was the cramping guy 2 nights ago.
Yeah, he did. He's got that sleeve on his left leg still because of it.
He might be looking across at Coach Matahari right now saying, hey, Coach, 1 out of the 5 has to be out here. You chose me? And suddenly the Jets' pressure is...
What is going on?
Temera, upstairs he goes with the finish. A bit of fun for the crowd here with 90 seconds to play.
How quickly things change. Just like that, 10-point ball game. And this is a couple times the Jets have done that this season. Made what was not the most attractive scoreline look relatively okay in comparison following the game, but this one has really never been as close as the 10 points. That's the difference now.
Well, it'll be fascinating here now to see when they come out of this timeout whether those starters are all still sat down for Brent Matahari, or whether he feels that this is just a little too close for comfort. And look at the energy, look at the commitment to the cause still from the Jets.
Brett Matahari not putting the starters back in there.
Going to trust some of the second unit to get this one over the line.
And then we will call you forward to get autographs. If you do want an autograph sheet, we do have some here on the table. Feel free to come and grab one.
Long timeout for Coach Brett Matahari.
Timmins back on the floor. Looks to be the only, Withers still out there as well, so that's the concession from Brent Matahari is to get his big centre back out there. And it should be well within their abilities here, the Nuggets, just to settle things down here and close this one out with that 10-point margin. And just under 90 seconds to play, and that is a nice settler from Sam Timmins, who goes to work in the paint.
Excellent footwork on the step through.
And at the other end of the floor as well, the big man pulls down another board.
Aitchison missing the 17-footer. Oh, unfortunate there for Nathan Salmon.
And that will just about do it as a foul called. I'm not sure that Salmon was really going into that situation with any intent. It just delays the final hooter a little. As, it is a chance for Joe Ahi to get on the scoreboard here, and he does.
As we slowly march to the end of this game, it has gotten considerably slower down the stretch.
Aitchison, and surely now he won't be fouling the Jets. There's that margin again is back out to 13. He tried to add to the highlight reel. Majdawi. And it was just a hint that he was getting out of control about 30 feet prior to the contact.
There's a collision out there on State Highway 1 in the Manawatu. Watch out. Najawi on the straight line. Josh Aitchison does well to take it.
I think he saw the headlights coming about 3 minutes earlier.
And let's just go ahead and dribble this one out. Make sure, let that be that.
Yeah, surely, I think so. But the Nuggets will continue their winning role. Casey Frank, they're starting to, if they weren't already, with the personnel they've got, as Andrew finishes upstairs, but they're starting to tell the other rosters, you better take notice.
It's a talented squad, and talented in the right spots. It makes a size, speed, shooting ability, ball handling. They are for real. Now with 2.9 left, an inbound will seal the deal.
So the Nuggets make it 4 in a row, and they go to 4-2 on the ladder and continue their march in the right direction. For the Jets, they are not yet underway in the Sal's NBL, but promising signs with the effort levels, if nothing else. They've got their imports on board. They need to improve that chemistry and get a little more out of the local talent that they have at their disposal. Tufale will be working very hard on that, I'm sure. But Casey Frank, the Nuggets, impressive and deserving of the win.
Yeah, solid. I don't think they were playing up to their ceiling of their abilities yet, but did more than enough to get the victory today. A solid score sheet, sharing the ball around for the Jets, but not enough against the impressive night by Timmins. 27 points to go with double-figure rebounding as well. Withers in support with 18. Taking a look at the rebounds, 12 for Timmins, a 14 for Bohannon before he fouled out. Todd Withers getting himself a double-double as well. And Tajiri McCall sneaking in there with 8 rebounds. Nice distribution of the basketball. I think a lot of it for the Nuggets was one-on-one. Things were so easy for them. The blocks had a few of them. The Jets were trying to get in on the game plan, but the defensive effort of Withers, McCall, McCulloch, that really is what stifled that Manawatu Jets offense this afternoon.
So the Nuggets get the W and make it a very good road trip, as we see some of the highlights, and Sam Timmins will be at the heart of so much of it. This was great between McCulloch and Withers.
Yeah, I love the give and the go. Seeing the unselfishness, shot-making ability, interior passing of that Nugget squad. The Jets fought back. Bohannon showed his lengthiness, his ability to finish off the bounce. And they grinded hard, sharing the basketball. Crawford was trying to facilitate as well. This was a big three from Nikhil McCulloch right when things were getting tighter. able to hit that. But in the end, it was stifling defense where shots like that were what had to be made over the prodigious defense. And Shane Temura with the late highlight flush, but in the end, just not enough for the Nuggets team that was too good on the day.
Plenty of great action to come starting Thursday. The Rams against the Hawks, who have a road trip double. The Sharks up against the Nuggets, who look to continue their form in the Southern Derby, while the Giants, who have impressed at the start of this campaign, they take on the Hawks in the second of those road games for the Hawke's Bay outfit. So plenty of great action to come in the Cells NBL, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Home. Sam Timmins, the man of the moment, with a big double-double for the big man in a big win for the Nuggets. On behalf of Casey Frank and the entire NTech crew, thanks for your company. We'll see you next time in the Cells NBL.